What's this big audition you were talking about?
It's a huge opportunity. I'm auditioning for Wonder Man.
Yeah, you're no stranger to playing comic book roles.
Yeah.
I loved you as Black Manta.
Yeah.
I loved you as Dr. Manhattan. And I'm
wow.
already loving you as Wonder Man here in the series with the 3 episodes I've seen.
Sheesh.
What about characters like this just energize you as a performer?
Well, first, you got to give it up for the fans because they're really the buoy that really supports and makes the whole ship float. Secondly, the stakes are always larger than life. Whether that's Dr. Manhattan or Black Manta, is really about the stakes of the entire world. With Simon, I get to do it in a different way, where it's really about his personal stakes that feel like it's just about the entire world. So, to me, that creates a character that's kind of a wreck, and then you give them some dreams and a little bit of ambition, you put them on a path and see what happens.
Yeah, a character where I never know if you're in character right now or not in character. You just referenced Simon in the third person, so I feel like I'm talking to Yahya right now, but who knows?
It's wild, man.
Maybe this interview is canon to the MCU.
You know what? Who knows? It just might be.
Watch Wonder Man, you'll find out.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Sir Ben
please.
Kingsley,
Yes.
thank you so much for taking the time to chat.
Great pleasure.
We'll start back at your original Marvel journey, which began in 2013 with
Yes.
Iron Man 3. I hear that there is an interesting story behind that initial phone call you had with Kevin Feige about taking on the role of the Mandarin, which was secretly Trevor Slattery, who you still play here today. Can you share some insight into what that first phone call sounded
Well,
like?
no, it wasn't a phone call. Kevin actually came to my house in Oxfordshire, and we sat down, and he didn't want to trust the telephone. He wanted one-on-one, face-to-face, to break the news that Trevor Slattery was the Mandarin and this crazy, drug-addicted, Liverpudlian actor. And he sat down and talked me through it, and I thought, this is the most wonderful opportunity. Simple as that.
Was there ever a world where you thought this was a character you were going to reprise this many times, and especially be running for 12 years?
No, it wasn't. There was All Hail the King.
Yes, the one shot is unbelievable.
Isn't that great?
So
That's
good.
Drew Pearce, who
We were
wrote.
just talking about it, me and Brad Winderbaum,
Yeah?
because he said he was behind some of the one shots.
Oh, wonderful. Well, that was a joy to do with Drew. And then Shang-Chi with Destin, for whom I have a great respect. A lovely man. And then Destin got so fond of Trevor, as did I, that he wanted him to reappear in Wonder Man. So, what a journey.
We'll wrap with this. Can you
Yes.
tease that dynamic opposite Yahya as Simon? What do Trevor and Simon's conversations look like?
Well, I believe, to answer your question seriously, there's a kindness from Trevor, and there's a level of attention from Simon.
Paul, thank you so much for taking the time. Congrats on Vision Quest. We're finally getting into the push of releasing this thing. And something I heard on the panel is it's being described as a third part of the trilogy with WandaVision and Agatha all along. Can you kind of describe how it honors the legacy of the shows that came before it while also standing on its own?
I think it feels redolent of those shows, but is absolutely its own thing. I think that Terry Matalas, our fearless leader and showrunner, and visionary, has come up with a great story, and that's what keeps me coming back, is if the stories are compelling. To me, at least, I feel like there's a chance they'll be compelling to somebody else, and yeah, I think it's for sure reminiscent and part of that trilogy, but it's also very much, it's got its own DNA.
Mm-hmm. And it honors the legacy by also honoring some of the supporting characters we get to see back in this thing. We know James Spader is back as Ultron. He's kind of like your Marvel second father. If Tony Stark is number one, James Spader is number two as Ultron. What's it been like to have James back?
James and I had the best time. I would do any show ever if he asked me to be in it. He is hilarious and delightful to work with.
Another character we know is coming back is Tommy Maximoff. What's it like to have your son back in the picture?
Complicated. And that's all I can say about that.
Fair enough. We'll wrap with this. A lot of the themes of this show revolve around memories. White Vision is trying to remember who he is while also, beginning his journey new as White Vision. For you personally in your Marvel journey, you've been on this train since 2008 when you were just a voice in the first Iron Man movie. What's a Marvel memory that you never want to forget?
Well, I've got loads. Most of them I can't tell you. I can't. But I remember being there on the first day, and I walked onto set, and Downey made this beautiful speech to everybody welcoming me. At least I think it was a beautiful speech, because I couldn't hear, because at that point they hadn't found a way to tape my ears off so that I could hear. So I was entirely unable to hear a thing that anybody was saying. And
this is Age of Ultron?
This is Age of Ultron.
So when you had transformed into Vision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That whole sequence where I make that big speech, I had no idea what anybody was saying to me. And Downey was walking around pointing at me and then making a speech, and I have no idea what he said to this day.
Well, I hope it was good stuff. I hope he was saying it as Tony Stark and not Dr. Doom, because whatever speeches he gives in Doomsday, I'm right terrified. He's going to be great in the role. Is it weird to see him as a villain?
No comment.
Brad Winderbaum, thanks so much for taking the time to chat.
My pleasure, man.
Welcome to New York Comic Con. How did it feel to
Thank you.
release, not really a slate, but show these fans in New York so much of the projects you've been working on?
It was awesome. I used to come to the Javits Center when I was like 12 years old, wait online to get my comic book signed, and just to come back and be able to, again, be a fan, but also be able to bring the stuff to the fans. It's crazy, man. It's amazing.
You got
come true.
You got some killer projects on the way, especially new seasons of shows we're familiar with. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm obsessed with the casting of Coleman Domingo as Norman Osborn. Yeah. Can you tease anything about his portrayal? Have you got to hear his voice as Norman a little bit yet?
Oh yeah.
What can you tell us?
Oh yeah. Season 2 picks up right where season 1. Set the table for us, and our showrunner Jeff Trammell. He really. I just said this. It's like we talk about power scaling a lot in terms of characters challenging other characters and they get stronger over time. Yeah. But emotionally, that is what's happening in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I mean, there is no stronger, more wild dynamic in that second season than Norman Osborn, Peter Parker, and Harry Osborn. It's almost like at times feels like Succession or something, and it's emotional. It's got real depth to it, and it's exciting, and the animation's insane.
Something I love about the animation, especially in Marvel animation, is I feel like you guys are able to take some risks and put it on Disney Plus and see what really works, and then that can sometimes translate to what goes on the big screen. I want to talk a little bit about X-Men here. Last time we spoke, we didn't know that the live-action movie was in development. Is there anything you're doing on X-Men 97 that you feel is already working that's going to maybe set the stage to influence what they do on the big screen?
I mean, I think they've got plans in live action, and it's I can't really talk about it, but there's 85 years of comic books, and we're drawing from those comics. The filmmakers on the live action side are drawing from those comics, so it's the X-Men. There's a lot to pull from.
Lots to pull from, a lot more characters that we've never seen before in animation or live action, which is very exciting. I'll wrap with this. I'm stoked for that Punisher special. It's a character that is ripe for that 1 hour of TV airing on Disney Plus. Are there any other characters that you think maybe necessarily won't work in a big screen movie or a 6-part episodic series that are ripe for a television special? You don't have to name it names, but do you have a drawing board?
I would make as many specials as they let me make. I started the one-shot program, which were the short films we put on the Blu-rays.
All hail the king, Ben Kingsley's here.
Exactly. And that's what I think the specials are. I think they're carrying the torch of the one-shot. So,
Item 47.
Item 47 is incredible.
Agent Carter before it became the series.
Totally. That was like the backdoor pilot in a way to the show. And so yes, there are little corners of the universe that you would never explore except for maybe in a special. It's really exciting.
So I'll wrap with this. Do you think on that note, if one-shots kind of bred the television specials, is there a world where television specials breed a full-length TV season for some characters?
Maybe. Yeah, you never know. I mean, so much of it is like pivoting and reacting to the fans and the market and viewership numbers, and like there's a lot of calculus that goes into this above my head, and I'm just like trying to make cool stuff, you know. But you know, I will take every opportunity I can and every advantage I can to try to make like maybe some cool stuff.
As you should. You're killing it, Brad. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
If you ever need another butt kicking, just look for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.